Okay, so now we're going to look at the abdominal vessels, and the first thing that you want to look for once the abdominal organs are reflected up is this long straight line running down here. I'll put the probe under it. So this long vessel is the abdominal aorta. So it can also be referred to as the abdominal pelvic aorta or the caudal aorta. But this long line right here is the abdominal aorta. So running right next to it is going to be the inferior vena cava or post cava. So this whole structure right here. And then if we're looking up here, we're going to look for those three branches off of the abdominal aorta. And I think I told some of you guys this. One way to remember it is if you were to get stabbed in the abdominal aorta, you would need CSI, you know, crime scene investigation. But in this case, it's going to stand for the vessels that are branching off here. So you're going to have Celiac Trunk, which is right here. That's your superior mesenteric right here. And then way down here is going to be the inferior mesenteric. So again, way up here, this first branch is celiac trunk. Then you have your superior mesenteric, and then way down here, your inferior mesenteric. And so you're going to have several branches off of the celiac trunk. And so the first one that's kind of easiest to see is going to be the splenic. It's named because it is going to the spleen. And so you can see this line running down here. This organ that kind of looks like a weird flat squished tongue is the spleen. So that's the splenic artery. You're also, if I kind of reflect this up, going to have this vessel right here that's going up into the liver. So here's our liver right here. This is part of the intestine I'm reflecting up. So this is the hepatic artery. And then this third branch right here is going up, and it is going to come around the top of the stomach, and it's going to go toward the duodenum, which is right here. You guys probably don't know that yet, but this is the duodenum. So as this comes around, this is actually the left gastric. You can also just refer to it as the gastric artery. So I'll reflect all this back up again. So celiac trunk, you're going to have your hepatic, your gastric, and then this long one is the splenic artery right here. All right, so superior mesenteric is going to supply blood for your small intestine and the first 2/3 of the large intestine. That's why this is such a big vessel here. It's got a lot of things to feed. The inferior mesenteric, the small vessel down here, is only going to supply the last 1/3 of the large intestine. And so it's all the way down here by that last 1/3. So some other branches that are going to come off of the abdominal aorta running right here, you're going to have your renal artery, which is going to go to the kidney. You're also going to have your renal vein running to the kidney. And some of you may have been able to keep this intact, but there's this tiny vessel that's running off to the side here to right above the kidney on either side. These are going to be the suprarenal vessels. And they're kind of difficult to see. So if you see something that's branching off and going somewhere that looks like it's sitting right up top the kidney, that almost looks like nothing, that's going to be the suprarenal. So as we come down, the only other vessels that we are going to look at are going to be the iliac vessels. So right here, you're going to have your common iliac. Right here, it is going to have two branches, one that's going to be going in to the pelvis and one that's going to be going out to the leg. Okay, so the Other branches that are like way down here, you don't really have to worry about. But let's see, so internal, external. And one thing to note, I slid the probe all the way down like this, so that's not entirely true. If you look for the abdominal muscle here and see where this would sit, it would sit and kind of make a line right across here. Once this iliac vessel crosses this line, it turns from external iliac into femoral. All right, so this dividing line is this abdominal wall right here, and once it crosses that, it goes from iliac to femoral. And the same rules apply for the vein. You see right here, that's runs all the way down here. Here's its split, and then runs into the leg. Now, something that you can't see on this cat is one, the popliteal, which would run along the back side, posterior surface of the back of the knee here, and then the great saphenous. It was actually cut. The great saphenous, you can see where it used to be attached right here. The femoral goes deep here, the great saphenous becomes superficial, and it is running down the medial surface of the leg right here. So that's where you would see it. And I think that's pretty much it. The gonadal vessels are a little difficult to see in here. So we're not going to ask you about those, and if I forget anything, I'll make another video showing you exactly what you're looking for. Hope that helps.